He smirked when he said it. "Don't take it personally," Daniel murmured, his voice smooth, cold. "You're just useless now." The ink on the divorce papers hadn't even dried. His father had been buried not 3 weeks before. I sat there, across from him in the lawyer's office, my hands steady on the mahogany table while his trembled with arrogance. He'd inherited $500 million, and suddenly I was a footnote in his success story. He stood, slid his gold watch higher up his wrist, the one I'd bought when he was broke and desperate, and walked out without looking back. That was the last time I saw him before the will reading. We met 12 years ago. He was charming then, not yet infected by greed. A struggling architect with impossible dreams and holes in his shoes. I loved him for his hunger, his refusal to give up. I worked 2 jobs so he could finish school, paid the rent, cooked ramen in chipped bowls. He used to look at me like I was the only thing standing between him and collapse. Maybe I was. Then his father got sick, cancer. The diagnosis dragged him home into a world of money and manipulation, a world I didn't belong to. His father didn't approve of me. "She's too simple," I overheard him tell Daniel once. "You need a partner, not a charity case." I never told Daniel I'd heard. I just smiled when he came home late, smelling of whiskey and disappointment. And slowly, he started changing. It began with silence, a cold distance between us, the kind that hums in the dark. He stopped asking about my day, stopped kissing my forehead before leaving. One night, I caught him deleting messages, quick, guilty movements, from a number saved as M. M stood for Melissa, his father's paralegal. I didn't confront him, not yet. I'd learned something about power. The one who speaks first loses control. So I waited. When the hospital called to say his father had passed, Daniel didn't cry. He just poured a drink and muttered, "Finally." That night, he didn't come home. The funeral was lavish, the kind of event that looked more like a performance than a farewell. Reporters hovered, old business partners whispered condolences that smelled like opportunism. Daniel played the grieving son perfectly. I stood beside him, wearing black silk and a practiced expression. Melissa was there too, smiling, wearing his late mother's pearls. I saw everything, but I said nothing. After the funeral, he told me he wanted a divorce. He didn't even try to dress it up. "You've served your purpose," he said. "My father's gone. The company's mine now. You can move on." The lawyer slid the papers across the table. No alimony, no property, just silence and humiliation. I signed. Not because I was weak, but because I knew something he didn't. A week later, the lawyer called. His voice carried that smug kind of curiosity lawyers get when they think they've seen everything. "Mrs. Walker," he paused, "or should I say Miss Walker now? I think you might want to attend the final reading of the will." I almost didn't, but curiosity is a dangerous thing. When I arrived, Daniel was already there, relaxed, champagne in hand. "You don't need to be here," he said, not even glancing up. "It's done." The lawyer smiled faintly. "Actually, Mr. Walker, it's not." He opened the folder, adjusting his glasses. Per the late Mr. Walker's instructions, the inheritance is to be transferred to his son and daughter-in-law under one condition. The marriage must remain legally intact for a period of 5 years following his death. The room went silent. Daniel froze. His grip on the glass slipped, it shattered, a fine spray of champagne across the carpet. The lawyer continued, almost enjoying it. "In the event of divorce before that period, all assets revert to the surviving spouse." He looked at me then, directly, kindly. "That would be you, Miss Walker." Daniel's face drained of color. He called that night, begged, pleaded, promised he'd made a mistake. I listened in silence, then said the only words I'd been saving for months. You taught me my worth, Daniel. You just miscalculated the cost. Then I hung up. The funds cleared 2 weeks later. $500 million. Every cent transferred legally, cleanly, irrevocably. I didn't gloat. Revenge isn't about noise. It's about precision. He tried to sue, of course. Claimed coercion, manipulation, fraud. His new lawyer laughed him out of the room. The court upheld the will. He lost everything. The company, the mansion, even the car that once gleamed with arrogance. I heard he's living in a one-bedroom apartment now. Melissa's gone. His pride, too. Sometimes I drive past the old house, my house now, and see the garden I planted with my own hands. The roses are blooming again. It's peaceful here, quiet. People ask if I regret anything. I just smile and tell them the truth. Not everything buried stays dead.